Hi there. Kenya, we are in very big trouble as a country. I'm saying so because there is an article I have been reading on Business Daily today with regards to depreciation of the Kenya shillings. Guys, in case you thought, for example, Kenya shilling is only depreciating against the US dollars, you are totally wrong. And I'm saying so because just over the past 1 year, Kenya shillings has actually depreciated against all the regional currencies. We are talking about Kenya shilling depreciating against the Tanzania shilling, Ugandan shilling, Rwanda Franc, you name it. That's how intense it is. And just to give you all statistics, we're talking about Kenya shillings having depreciated against the Ugandan shilling by 20%. That's how insane it is, guys. Think about it. Kenya shilling having gone down by 20% in value compared to the Uganda shilling, okay? It has gone down 12% against the Tanzanian shilling, and it has gone down about 5% against the Rwandese franc. That is how insane it is. Let's break down what this means for businesses, for individuals, and most importantly, what we can do as a country to at least assist our position. You are all much welcomed to the Money Daily YouTube channel. My name is Afagzaz Sifuna. And by the way, if you are new here, kindly consider subscribing to this channel because I'm out here each and every day bringing you awesome videos around personal finance, investing, and also showing you awesome places. Thanks for subscribing. Having said that, guys, when the Kenya shilling depreciates, it is a very bad situation. Why is that so? First of all, the impact on trade is very, very intense. And even so, statistics over the past 1 year show that. To give you an example, the imports from Uganda, from Tanzania, you name it, are actually less equivalent value. And I'm saying so because on average, for example, traders who are getting goods from, for example, Uganda, given the exchange rate has actually been more favorable for Ugandans, we are talking about them having to pay more by about 16-20% for them to be able to get equivalent amount of goods, or even so, them having had to reduce the goods they import at the same value by about 16-20%. That is how intense it is, and that is a dire impact on people doing importing into Kenya. And even so, for exports, it's also worse. Because guys, like any other market out there, consumers prefer to have that predictability in price. And of course now, offsetting the price of any particular good drastically is gonna cause you to lose market. And with that, also, those exporters who are exporting from Kenya to other markets around the region are also having it rough. That's so because of two things. First of all, they are realizing a less return for the same amount of exports compared to what they used to do a year ago. And also, the counterfactual that also, guys, we are seeing an increase in demand of units of goods by the neighboring countries. Reason being, guys, it is more favorable terms for them. So they desire to buy more and more goods before the price increase, for example, on their end. In other words, the Kenya shillings get more favorable against their currencies. So we're seeing two things moving. First of all, our traders getting low and low margins, and yet these neighboring countries are actually importing more and more of our goods. Reason being, the price is favorable for them. That's how intense it is. But away with all that economics and how things change with regards to foreign exchange having impacted Kenya, the underlying things that as a country, guys, we are in very, very big trouble. And as such, for us to be able to even forge our future of trade in a better way, we need to have measures in place. And of course, now I'm going to discuss with you 3 measures which I think the government of Dr. William Samoei Ruto needs to implement for us to be able to get relief from these pressures. And also 3 measures which you as an individual could actually undertake in case the currency of your country, wherever you are in, is depreciating. And by the way, these measures are important for you to know because you could be sitting there thinking, for example, oh, this only affects those doing imports and exports. Oh, this doesn't touch on me. Guys, woe unto you, because any fluctuations in Forex impact you very, very greatly. Whether it is Kenya shillings versus the US dollars, Kenya shilling versus Ugandan shillings, TZ shillings versus the franc, you name it. It actually impacts you in a big way. First of all, because the price of goods and services which you're going to be buying are going to actually go up. Because ultimately, these traders, these manufacturers have to push that change in forex to you too. You have to share the burden. That's why you see, for example, the prices of goods and services going higher and higher in the country. Secondly, also the government is going to exercise this on utilities. We are seeing, for example, the cost of electricity, the cost of water going up and up. More so in case of any inputs which are used to actually assist get these amenities to you. In case of any imports relating to getting the inputs for these amenities to get to you, guys, you're going to also bear the cost for that. And having said that, the three things which I think the government needs to do to at least assist stabilize the situation is, first of all, having something which I call direct financial assistance. What do I mean? Guys, in any economy out there, the government is actually the biggest spender. So with that, we are talking about the government having the muscles to at least assist ease this pressure by having, for example, impact on taxes. They could, for example, have levy, for example, even have, for example, impact on taxes, maybe reducing a given kind of taxes, even, for example, having maybe like something like grace period for a given number of taxes to ensure that traders out there actually are able to reduce their cost of production. Because when they do that, actually it's going to assist them realize their margins and even so not having the prices of goods in the country fluctuate that much. So the government can use its, in essence, monetary systems to assist, see how to deal with this. And then secondly, also, the government could look to jump onto using loans, using grants to assist businesses out there. They could have, for example, cheap loans, maybe grants out there, which can assist businesses at least get the inputs and more so in volumes, in essence, assisting these businesses reduce their cost of production. And the most important thing is that the government needs, for example, to use low-cost loans compared to, for example, commercial banks out there, so that businesses out there can be able to access financing at favorable rates. And in essence, this translates also to their cost of production. Okay? And then the second thing that the government can do is enhancing the trading policies in the country. You know what? The government has the ability to at least also play with the trading policies so as to assist those people, for example, who are doing imports and exports. Guys, as a country, we're talking about a trader having to incur a good number of charges in case they're importing or exporting goods into the country. And so with that, the government can also play around with these different kind of trade policies to assist businesses be able to actually assist them reduce their cost of trading. Even so, in essence, this is going to translate to also the consumer goods going down, right? And then the third thing, which the government can also do to at least assist deal with this situation, is that actually the government can also intervene in foreign exchange. Guys, there is a way the government can intervene in exchange rates. And of course, a country as Kenya, more so given Kenya doesn't have that very, very high contribution to the global net GDP, we are talking about the government using those moderate approaches to at least assist stabilize the currency of the country. Some of them being, for example, the government can be a big trader in these different foreign currencies to at least ensure they are stabilized. And of course, it doesn't need to do that on a regular basis, just and of when it is necessary. But of course, also we have those extreme FX rates or approaches which the government can use to, which I think as a country, we don't need to utilize those, because the best option for us as an economy is to leave the exchange rate to continue being floating and the Kenya shillings to reach the highest it can in terms of exchanging to other currencies, because that is the best option for us when it comes to trading. And so with that, what can you possibly do as an individual? 3 things you can do as an individual. First of all, if you are sitting there, the very first thing you can do is postpone any big purchases which you need to do which relate to foreign exchange, which is unfavorable. Guys, the thing is this: over time, the Kenya shilling is going to actually stabilize. Okay? I'm not saying it's going to stabilize next week or even a day after today, but over time it's going to stabilize. So in case you're having a major purchase you need to make with regards to you importing something, you can actually postpone that. And then over time, you're going to be able to have savings from the reduction in price owing to favorable exchange rate compared to in Kenya shilling compared to other currency. But of course, it also depends on the pressure you have. Okay? And then the second thing you can do as an individual is you being able to also pay off your debt. What do I mean? If you have debts, more so if your debt is in foreign currency, you're gonna be at a big disadvantage. And I'm saying so because most of the times when you talk about banks out there financing you, they usually use something called floating exchange rates, which in essence means that the exchange rate is gonna be moving according to how the FX market moves too. In other words, for example, in case you have a US dollar loan, in case the Kenya shilling depreciates constantly against the US dollar, it's gonna mean that the bank is gonna have a right to adjust the interest you're paying because you signed to that. The interest rate is gonna increase. So in case you're having debt, ensure you try your level best to pay that debt off as soon as possible for two reasons. The first reason is that also you're gonna be able to reduce the cost of financing or maintain it as it is before it increases. And secondly, it's gonna assist you be able to unlock money to do maybe investing over time. Okay? And then guys, the last thing you can do as an individual is ensuring you equip yourself with knowledge. Knowledge is power. So ensure you keep yourself in knowledge so that you are able to understand all this phenomena. Know what is the effect of, for example, Kenya shilling depreciating. How does it impact you? Knowledge is power, and that's the only way also you can be able to increase your wealth. Once you know how you manage your cash flows, once you know you need to hold your cash flow, for example, in which currencies and so forth. So ensure you keep yourself with the knowledge out there. Knowledge is accessible anywhere with this internet era. On YouTube, online, we have very many free sources which assist you understand what the impact of different variations in exchange rates out there are. So go read about it, and hopefully over time it's gonna be useful to you. What do you think about this video? Do you think as a country we are in trouble? If yes, what do we need to do, for example, to assist us is our position? Comment down below. Thanks a lot for watching. I look forward to sharing with you guys other awesome videos next time. Bye bye, and you all take care.